Welcome students. Today we are going to learn subject Science and Technology part 2, standard ninth, lesson name Useful and Harmful Microbes, video number 6. In the previous video we have learned about two useful microbes, Lactobacilla and Rhizobium. Now today we will continue learning of another useful microbes, that is yeast. For the observation of yeast, let's study the following activities. Activity number 1. Take a spoonful of active dry yeast, mix 2 spoonfuls of sugar in it, add in lukewarm water containing bottle. Then fix a balloon on the mouth of the bottle. After 10 minutes, the balloon starts slowly inflating as yeast feeds on the sugar and produces carbon dioxide along with ethanol and gets trapped inside the balloon. This activity shows that yeast produces gases. Activity number 2. Mix lime water, that is calcium hydroxide, with the gas accumulated in the balloon. Calcium hydroxide turns into milky white solution of calcium carbonate. This activity explains yeast produces carbon dioxide gas. Activity number 3. It is useful to observe the yeast under compound microscope. Take a drop of the solution from the same bottle on the glass slide, then put a cover slip over it. After observing under compound microscope, we would be able to see colorless oval cells, and these are the yeast cells. Some of those cells may have small round bodies attached to them. These are new daughter cells of yeast formed by the method of asexual reproduction called budding. Let's have look upon the characteristics of yeast. Yeast is a heterotrophic fungal microbe that grows on carbon compounds due to non-green in color. Yeast is a unicellular fungus with 1500 different species in existence. The yeast cell is a eukaryotic type of cell, and yeast reproduces asexually by the process of budding, as you can see in the following diagram. Let's study the uses of yeast. Yeast can be useful in various food industries like production of bread, and all those uses of yeast involves process of fermentation. So let us see what is mean by fermentation. Yeast grows and multiplies very quickly due to the carbon compounds in the sugar solution. In the process of obtaining nutrition, yeast cells convert the carbohydrates in that solution into alcohol and carbon dioxide, and this process is called as fermentation. In the process of formation of bread becomes spongy due to addition of yeast in its dough. Yeast reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide gas while respiring. This gas fills the dough and increases its volume, making it to rise, thus making the bread appear spongy and fluffy, as you can see in the alongside figure. Now we move ahead with another use of microbes, that is bioremediation. Definition: the process of using living organisms to transform, destroy or immobilize contaminants is called bioremediation. Example 1. A yeast Yaravia lipolytica is used to absorb the toxins released during the production of the palm oil and the other heavy metals and minerals which are released in the some other industries during the process of production of the different products. Example 2. Saccharomyces Cerevisia is used for the absorption of a pollutant, especially arsenic, from the environment. Example number 3. During transportation of oil in the oceans, there may be leakage in the ships, and that is responsible for the oil spills, and that can be cleaned with the help of Alkanivorax bacteria. So therefore, for making green earth, microbes are playing important role through the process of bioremediation. The most important role of microorganisms is antibiotic production. What do we mean by antibiotics? The carbon compounds obtained from some bacteria and fungi and are useful for destroying or preventing the growth of other harmful microorganisms are called antibiotics. Antibiotics mainly acts against the bacteria, but some of the antibiotics can also destroy protozoa. There are mainly two types of antibiotics based on their action shown. First type is broad spectrum antibiotics. These antibiotics are useful against a wide variety of bacteria, and these are called broad spectrum antibiotics. Example: ampicillin, amoxicillin, and tetracycline, etc. When the pathogen cannot be identified even though the symptoms are known, that time such broad spectrum antibiotics are useful as a part of treatment. The second type is narrow spectrum antibiotics. Some antibiotics are useful against the specific variety of bacteria, and they are called as the narrow spectrum antibiotics. Whenever a pathogenic microorganism is definitely knowing, that time the narrow spectrum antibiotics are useful. Example: penicillin, gentamicin, and erythromycin, etc. The most well-known antibiotic, penicillin, is obtained from the fungus Penicillium and is used for controlling infections caused by the bacteria like Staphylococci, Clostridia, and Streptococci, etc. Medicine containing penicillin are useful to treat certain bacterial infections of the ear, nose, throat, and skin, as well as diseases like pneumonia and scarlet fever. Now we are going to learn the other side of microorganisms, that is about harmful microbes. The first harmful microbe we are going to learn is fungi. It occurs in the air in the form of microscopic spores. When such spores get sufficient moisture, they start germinate on cotton fabric, gunny bags, leather, wooden items, and even on the walls also, as you can see in the following diagrams. The fungal hyphae, that is fiber, or even we can say as the strand, penetrate deep into the material to obtain nutrition and reproduces there. This causes the materials to wear and become weak. As a result, the gunny bags, leather items like shoes, purses, belts, etc., on which the fungi grow do not last long. Wooden items also get spoiled. Various food items are also get spoiled due to the fungal growth. As you can see in the following pictures, pickles, murabba, jam, and sauce, chutney, these are the different food items. They use the nutrients in these food items for their growth and reproduction. During this activity, fungi releases mycotoxin, certain poisonous chemicals, into the food items, and thus the food items becomes unsuitable for the consumption. Hence, the food on which the fungi have grown cannot be eaten. Now we are going to learn the second harmful microorganism, Clostridium. The bacteria which spoil cooked food are called Clostridium. Some Clostridium are free living in the soil, whereas some live in the alimentary canal of humans and other animals. These bacteria are rod shaped and produce bottle shaped endospores. in adverse conditions. Adverse conditions, it means the not feasible conditions for the growth. One special characteristic of these bacteria is that they cannot withstand the normal oxygen level of the air because they grow in the anaerobic conditions. Examples of the different species of Clostridia are shown in the following diagrams. Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens, Clostridium botulinum, and Clostridium difficile. The most harmful part of the microorganisms is that they can cause the various diseases like a bacterial, viral, protozoan or fungal diseases which affects the human beings. Among all the microorganisms, viruses are smaller than bacteria and other and can grow and reproduces only in living cells. Examples: viral diseases, AIDS, hepatitis, influenza and chickenpox, and today everyone is knowing about the coronavirus. Second, bacterial diseases, pneumonia, leprosy, cholera, etc. Protozoan diseases, malaria, and fungal diseases like dandruff, ringworm, and scabies. Thank you.